So that's a great question. Why is there a 3/8 centerline relocation? And the question is, can you help me understand something? Why is there a 3/8 inch center of mortise body and strike plate? So the client is asking, why is there a difference between the center line of the strike plate and the center line of the mortise lock, and that difference is 3/8 of an inch? And the client provides a template, and that template is literally to just a Schlage L-Series template. Actually, and we will switch to that so I can show you. Actually, let's do that right now, and you'll be able to have an idea of what it is that we're looking at. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is what the client is referring to in terms of, right here, why. Why is there a 3/8 relocation, center line of the strike to the center line of the mortise pocket? And the client provided me with this template, and this template could be literally for any manufacturer. Schlage, Sargent, Yale, Corbin, Russwin, Arrow, Falcon, the list goes on and on and on. Imports. And this is exactly what you're going to see in almost all instances of mortise locks. Not every one of them, but almost all that are going to be typical templating where the pocket, the mortise pocket, is what we would call an 86 edge. That's always going to be 1¼ inch wide. Not always, but to be an 86 edge. 1¼ inch wide and 8 inch tall. The width can be narrower. There are mortise locks that have options, and Schlage is one of them, by the way. And this is a Schlage template that the client provided me, that they do make narrower fronts. Armor fronts is what those are called. And in almost all instances, it's going to fit this sort of standardization of the preparation for the door and frame. And that's really the heart of the answer. It's the standardization. Let's talk about that. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So I have a couple of locks here, and we're going to take a look at them. I have a mortise lock here. This mortise lock happens to be a very unusual lock, but it has the proper function that I need to illustrate. So I was saying earlier, standardization. What the industry is looking to do as a result of the needs, desires, wishes of not only the industry, but specifically the manufacturer of the hardware, the manufacturer of the door and frame, is to be able to make things work, to be able to manufacture items economically, and in such a way that doesn't complicate the entire matter. Okay. And what the industry is certainly looking to do is to basically make it easy to set up a production line, not complicate it. So I've got a mortise lock here. This mortise lock has a deadbolt function. Okay, that's the center line of the latch. We know that the center line of the latch is 3/8 lower than the center line of the strike. So the center line of the strike is going to be somewhere where my finger is, about 3/8 above the center line of the latch. Okay. Here is the strike for this lock. It's got 2 holes, as you would expect, because there is a deadbolt. And the deadbolt strikes closer to the heart of the matter. Standardization and deadbolt. Keep that in mind. I have over here another Schlage lock, a now discontinued D series, which means it's a knob. Now, that's one hell of a lock. This is in 630 finish. I am not thrilled that Schlage discontinued this, but oh, it's even got a 3 3/4 latch. have all the weird locks for this video. Okay, so yeah, 3 3/4. Here's our latch bolt installed in our lock. Okay. This is a cylindrical lock. This could also be a tubular lock, and what that means is a cylindrical lock, just to focus on that. The center line of the latch bolt on a cylindrical lock is the same as the center line on the strike. Bear with me. This is going to happen, I guarantee it. Okay. The center line of the latch bolt is the center line of the strike. They're the same center line. You'll note that on this strike, it looks like it's in the center, and if it does, it's because it is in the center. The top of the plate to the center line is the same as the bottom of the plate to the center line. What makes that design nice is you want a left hand? Great. You need a right hand? Great. Turn it over. No problem. Turn it over. Standardization. With this, these two holes, they are symmetrical from either end. You want a left hand? Great. You need a right hand? Okay, turn it over. But what's the heart of the difference here? They're the same height, but you can tell that, let's just say that it's left hand. This would be the center, this would be the hole for the latch. I've got them held up to each other at the same height. You can see that we've relocated the center line of the latch in the mortise pocket strike lower. And the client's inherent question is why? It's a simple answer, and I'm sorry that it's taken so long to just simply answer the question. But I felt building up to it with an example of why. And I asked this question myself many, many years ago. Why is that? It has everything and only to do with the fact that you need to fit the deadbolt into the strike. So the factories want to make 4 7/8 strike preps in hollow metal frames. Okay? They don't want to make different strike heights for a cylindrical lock versus a mortise lock. You could fit the latch bolt of that D-series knob, that cylindrical lock, into a 2 1/4 inch tall full lip strike. Or into a 2 3/4 tall T-strike. But when you add the deadbolt, now you have a lot more material that you have to stuff into the same 4 7/8 tall footprint. So therefore, if it wasn't relocated, and let's just say that the hole was in the center, where's my deadbolt going to fall? Right through that screw hole. How could we accommodate that? Well, we could make custom weird strikes that are always handed. Taller strikes, therefore making a different prep for mortise locks or cylindrical locks. But if I take that and I scooch it down 3/8 of an inch, if I take that center line and I scooch it down 3/8 of an inch, now all of a sudden I can fit all of my hardware into that same footprint. The relocation is solely a result of having to fit more stuff into the footprint of the strike plate. That's the exact reason. And that is, as far as I'm aware, the only reason. The problem with doing this, obviously, is if you were to have cylindrical locks and mortise locks on the same job, you have to start to think about, where is my trim center line? If you had a long hallway and you had mortise locks mixed with cylindrical locks and you put them all at your manufacturer's standard strike height of, you know, 43 and 11/16 for a 7/0 Kawani on the jam, underside of the header to the center line of the strike. You can get, if you have mortise locks and cylindrical locks down this long, think of two-point perspective in high school Art 101, down this long hallway, your lever trims are not going to be the same height, because when we're moving that mortise lock body down, on top of the fact that the lever trim is already not in the center, you're moving it down here, and then another, you're moving it 3/8 down and then further down, you're going to have a problem with that. Now, generally, you don't really mix cylindrical and mortise locks in that type of proximity to each other, but it is something to be aware of. The height of the trim is going to be different based on mortise locks or cylindrical locks, exacerbated by the 3/8 offset, and you have to think about that in the sense that it will affect armor plates and other hardware that you'll apply to the door that needs to come up close to the operating trim, but not interfere with it. That is the only reason for this. If there is another, I hope someone will contribute. But as far as I understand, it's just standardization. We want 1 4 7/8 strike prep. We don't want to have, we want to minimize, we want to standardize the manufacturing process for not only door and frame manufacturers, but lock manufacturers as well. 4 7/8. By the way, this is an extended lip. And that would be the answer. I would very much welcome any feedback, and thank you very much for the question. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.